I'm so stupid. Roll the intro. Welcome to the third episode of Mr. Vogt Explains the World. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Vogt. Over there we have the band. Let's not waste any time and let's dive into the important questions. First of all, as of this moment, our channel has 101 subscribers. So much for minimalism. The last video, let's just say it didn't reach those 800. Seems like quality educational content. Not what the world is looking for at the moment. Do I care? Of course not. If my job prepared me for one thing, then it's people not caring about what I have to say. I will keep doing these public service announcements, these educational tidbits, so to speak. And actually, before we get to today's main event, don't worry, I have something important to say. I was browsing through the newspaper this week and I found this letter where this guy basically stated that the German court ruled that viruses don't exist and that they don't make us sick. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't read the newspaper, but I just have a lot of time on my hand. Anyway, for a moment, I thought maybe this guy's up to something. So I took the time, typed in the web page he mentioned in his letter, and started to do some research myself. I mean, after all, if courts would outlaw viruses, this whole nightmare would be over in a second. These viruses wouldn't dare to break the law, and we could all live happily ever after. I do these things so that you don't have to. Long story short, turns out, surprise, surprise, the court didn't actually rule against viruses. So this anti-vaxxer guy promised a cash prize to the person who could produce one single scientific publication to prove the existence of the measles virus. Along comes this guy with 6 publications. I guess you already see the problem, don't you? So anti-vaxxer refuses to pay, and that's why they go to court. The courts never actually ruled on the existence of viruses. Actually, that fact was never disputed by any of the judges. It was just about the rules of the contest. But this little tidbit from our newspaper speaks to a larger problem we have. Just look at the platform you're currently on, YouTube. It's getting flooded by videos about conspiracy theories. This is nothing new. We had 9/11, flat earthers, chemtrails, global warming, the moon landing, and yes, anti-vaxxers. All these conspiracies sound very ridiculous. Should you disagree with this statement, I have the ideal channel for you. Just press, depending on your system, the Control or the Command and the Q button, like QAnon, and you will be immediately taken to that channel. Keep pressing, just a little bit longer, Control or Command Q, keep going. I think they're gone. Let's hope so. I don't have the time and the resources to disprove all these conspiracy theories, but all of them speak to a larger issue. People are just stupid. Let me explain. There are many people who consider themselves smart, or at least smart enough. Hey, I'm one of them. But most people, unfortunately, are not smart enough to realize, and I'm trying to keep this channel clean here, when they're full of digested food. Take 9/11 for example. If you're not a structural engineer, I'm not interested in your opinion about what happens when a large aeroplane crashes into a skyscraper. I have a pretty vivid imagination, but I have a hard time wrapping my brain around what's supposed to happen when a passenger plane vanishes inside a building. That's not supposed to happen. Therefore, no one can just pull an explanation out of their behind. Not even the band. And that's actually where these conspiracy theories fall on fertile ground. People want easy explanations. Using TNT to blow up a building, that's easy. Explanations that require you to know the melting point of steel or the chemical properties of kerosene, not so easy. We live in a complicated world, so there are not always easy explanations, except in the following cases. 1. Vaccines work. When was the last time you've seen someone with polio? 2. The Americans landed on the moon. The Russians would have told us otherwise. 3. The Earth is not flat. Keep pressing Control Q. And 4. Global warming. I think that one deserves its own segment. Okay, that's enough serious business and educational mandate for one show. You're here for the main event anyway.
Challenge accepted. No.
Okay, let's do this. I'm not sure if this is going to be really, really boring. Oh, it's hot. Okay, here. This is so stupid. As I said last time, this is the Hot Ones, the Last Step Maruga Scorpio edition. Depending on who you ask, it has between 1.2 and 1.5 million Scoville, which is pretty hot. I had it before, but in smaller doses and as part of a meal or a sauce or something. So I have actually no idea how this is going to work. To make things a little bit more fun, I asked my students to come up with some Reddit-inspired AMA questions. 7 LSB delivered. Thank you for that. So I'm going to try and get through those questions. I haven't looked at them. Let's see if I'm able to answer all of them. Here goes nothing. Yeah, it starts. It's actually quite tasty. Okay. First question. If your girlfriend was a Marvel DC character, who'd she be? Good question. Part of me would kind of have to say Mystique as played by Jennifer Lawrence, but she's kind of let's be honest, in comics she's a villain. So comics, I would either go, my favorite hero is Spider-Man, and I always liked his kind of supporting female characters as well. So I would go either Spider-Gwen or maybe Mary Jane Watson. Yeah, I think I might get along. I might actually get along with either of them quite well. What's the highest amount of money you've ever spent at the Matura party? That was probably 2 years ago when I had 2 classes. I don't remember the exact amount. I just remember that, yeah, after the taxi ride home, I didn't have anything anymore. Could you ever be vegan or vegetarian? I mean, those vegan burgers are not that bad, actually. But I really like bacon, so probably not. Do you miss your students? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What do you think of students who don't participate in your class? It's just wasted opportunity for them. I mean, you're there anyway. You might as well participate. Isn't that a line in The Perks of Being a Wallflower that you need to participate in your own life? What's your favorite kind of juice? I know what kind of answer you want. But I'm gonna say grapefruit juice. Kind of I like kind of the sour taste of it. What part of a kid's movie did scare you? Part of a kid's movie? I think one of the first movies, no, not one of the first movie I've ever seen in a movie theater was An American Tale, a German Pfeiffer der Mauswanderer. And there is kind of near the end, kind of the big plot point is that there are cats in America. Oh, the heat is traveling down. Oh. And kind of those cats in that movie kind of scared me because, yeah, they were supposed to scare the main character, Fievel. And I think still to this day, that's the main reason why I don't like cats. Which sport should require to add a mandatory amount of alcohol beforehand? Which sport would alcohol make more fun? I mean, if you consider beer pong or stuff like that sports, obviously. But I would say, I mean, a football game with enough beer, it's actually bearable. So, yeah. What would the world look like if it was filled with male and female copies of you? Probably extinct. Extinct or really... extinct or really, really weird. Do you plan on quitting your job as a teacher in order to make a career as an influencer? Being an influencer is not a career, so no. But who knows if this whole TV show business or YouTube show channel business here takes off, and I mean, who knows when we can return to school? I mean, maybe. I think I mentioned already the one job I would quit my current teaching job for at the moment is movie director or screenwriter or whatever. So yeah, those were the questions they came up with. Actually very good. I thought you might go a little bit more awkward, but this was actually quite fun. But yeah. Yeah, I think the hotness is winding down. I think some of you were expecting a little bit more, but now I think now that I look at I think my head is a little bit red, but okay. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for today. What do you think, band? The band agrees. So this was episode 3 of Mr. Vogt Explains the World. Happy Easter. Enjoy your Easter break. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and see you next time. It actually still burns. But for 200 subscribers, I have one with 2 million Scoville, and for 300 with 3.3 million Scoville. Take care.